Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're looking at a scenario that honestly keeps security engineers awake at night. It's the story of a highly trusted guardian of your infrastructure suddenly being turned against its very own users. Let's dive right in.
Think about it. What actually happens when the tool protecting your CI/CD pipeline becomes the malware? We spend countless hours securing our code, but we rarely step back and question the scanners themselves, right? Well, today we're dissecting CVE 2026-33634. It was this brilliant, incredibly stealthy heist that literally used a popular security scanner as its Trojan horse.
So Trivy is a phenomenal open-source tool by Aqua Security. Its whole purpose, its intended use, is to find vulnerabilities and generate software bill of materials. Basically, it's the good guy. Yet, in the reality of this specific CVE, it was weaponized to sweep up AWS keys, SSH configs, and database credentials. And to understand how this heist even worked, we really have to look at why Trivy holds the keys to the kingdom in the first place.
That brings us to part 1, the Trivy security arsenal and building the ingredients list.
Trivy is deeply embedded in modern software pipelines, primarily because of its SBOM generation. If you're not familiar, an SBOM, or software bill of materials, is basically a complete inventory of every single component in your software. From Alpine OS packages all the way down to your Python libraries, think of it as a giant ingredients list. When a zero-day vulnerability hits, teams that have an SBOM can instantly pinpoint their affected systems, while everyone else is stuck spending weeks manually auditing their code.
Now, it doesn't just scan stuff and call it a day. It actually translates your entire software composition into standard industry formats. We're talking CycloneDX for vulnerability tracking, SPDX for legal and license compliance, or just its own native Trivy JSON report. But here's the catch. To generate these highly detailed reports, Trivy absolutely needs unhindered access to every single file, library, and configuration in your project.
And man, that access is incredibly broad. It's looking at local and remote container images, deeply nested file system directories, entire private Git repositories, which by the way requires your GitHub tokens, and infrastructure as code like Terraform and Helm charts. It essentially demands a master key to your entire engineering kingdom just to be able to do its job.
Let's look a bit closer at that in part 2. Deep system access, the operator, and misconfigurations.
See, Trivy isn't just some CLI tool you run once and forget about. As an operator, it acts as an active watcher inside your Kubernetes cluster. You deploy an application, and bam, it immediately detects the new replica set. It scans the container image for vulnerabilities, audits the configs, and then it saves these reports as custom resources directly in your cluster. It is so seamlessly integrated that Kubernetes garbage collection will actually clean up orphaned reports automatically.
But, okay, the profound irony here is just inescapable. Take a look at this actual Trivy alert, SKSV006. It actively flags misconfigurations, warning you that mounting docker.sock gives a container full root access to the host. Yet, to perform these very audits, to know exactly what secrets are exposed, Trivy requires identically high God mode privileges itself.
On top of all that deep internal access, it doesn't operate in a vacuum. To actually make recommendations, Trivy continuously calls out to the open internet. It has to fetch vulnerability databases, Java artifact indexes, and checks bundles from registries like GitHub Container Registry and AWS ECR. This external footprint is, of course, strictly necessary for it to work, but it creates a massive potential attack surface.
Which brings us right to part 3, the CI/CD malware heist, CVE 2026-33634.
So we've established that Trivy needs to see basically everything and connect everywhere, right? Well, here is exactly how that got exploited. First, a malicious payload executes just before the legitimate Trivy scan logic even starts. Second, it quietly sweeps the system for secrets in the background. Third, and honestly, this is the genius part, it just allows the legitimate scan to continue normally. And fourth, Trivy outputs its standard JSON report, leaving nice green check marks across the board for the developers, all while a massive heist concludes entirely in the background.
50. That is the number of different file system locations this malware swept for sensitive material during that one brief CI window. Because Trivy already had all the necessary permissions to scan the file system and the environment variables, the malware just piggybacked right on top of them.
In the loot, it was absolutely devastating. We're talking AWS, Google Cloud, and Azure credentials, Kubernetes secrets, SSH keys and TLS private keys, Docker configs, .env files, database credentials, VPN configurations, even shell histories. Literally everything you explicitly trusted your pipeline to hold in order to deploy your application was scooped up and stolen.
The malicious payload just completely bypassed the scan logic. It inspected runner processes and searched environment variables, all without ever failing the CI pipeline. It turns out, the perfect camouflage for malware isn't hiding in some forgotten legacy code. No, the perfect camouflage is a highly trusted, deeply privileged security tool doing its everyday job right out in the open.
You know, we spend thousands of dollars and countless hours implementing all these tools to scan our code, our infrastructure, our containers. But I leave you with this. If your scanner gets compromised, who is scanning the scanner? It's a question that really demands we completely rethink supply chain security. Thanks so much for watching this explainer, and definitely keep those pipelines secure.